What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I'd like to give my thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons minicamp. But if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content or NFL content. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to give my thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons mini camps. And mainly mini camps is for the players to develop chemistry and things of that nature. As you guys know, mini camps did wrap up Friday, and the players won't be back until late July for training camp. But mini camps, like I mentioned, is mainly for chemistry. Michael Penix was out there, throwing the ball around to Drake London, to Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, and all of the guys that's on the team. And you had the rookies out there for the very first time out there on the grass. Guys like Jalen Walker, Pierce was out there. And pretty much the starters, mixed in with the veteran players. These guys getting to know each other is mainly what mini camps is about. You have a couple of installments and things of that nature that the offense and the defense script up plays. And you're kind of running routes on air. And you have like some 7-on-7 type drills and things of that nature. But mainly it's to allow players to get their feet wet, for them to start developing the chemistry, learning the playbook and things of that nature. Nothing too serious, no pads and things of that nature. But mainly, from what I've heard coming out of the mini camps, Michael Penix looked really good, throwing the ball, out there on the field to these guys, starting to gain that chemistry as far as timing with these throws and things of that nature, understanding how each player runs their routes. And then on the defensive side of the ball, guys starting to understand what type of role they're going to have on this Atlanta Falcons team, whether they're going to be somebody that's rushing off the edge, whether they're going to be an inside linebacker or a safety or a corner or a nickel. And that's what we pretty much seen. The standout guys in mini camps, at least that Coach Raheem Morris, talked about in his interviews and things of that nature, was Devon Diablo. They talked about him possibly being an inside linebacker, could be a guy that gets the green dot. Him and Kate Nellis, at that inside linebacker spot. He talked about Michael Penix, as I mentioned, throwing the ball really well out there, just on air, and starting to develop that chemistry as the #1 quarterback on the team. We seen Kirk Cousins out there working, with Michael Penix as his backup and kind of accepting his role as the backup at this point. And stating that he's going to support Michael Penix in any way he can. And he wants the best for this team as far as to be able to go out there and win games. So I really think that things went really, really well at minicamp. We didn't see a ton of injuries or anything of that nature, any serious injuries. Of course, Kyle Pitts wasn't able to participate. Guys like Troy Anderson wasn't able to participate. But we didn't see any major injuries, and that's always a good thing because usually those non-contact injuries are the worst injuries. And this is the time of year when you start to see those type of injuries during mini camps, OTAs, and then during training camp. So knock on wood, hopefully the Atlanta Falcons can come out unscathed as far as any serious injuries. They did also talk about DeMarco Hellams being a guy back there out there on the field who plays that safety role, who was injured all last season, and possibly getting back a guy in Braylon Trice who didn't participate, I don't believe, in mini camps, but he's a guy that got injured last season out of the University of Washington coming off the edge, but a guy that could be back this season as well for our Atlanta Falcons. So, like I said, for the most part, from what I heard coming out of mini camps and things of that nature, the team looked really good, polished, but just going out there and kind of letting these guys get their feet wet, getting the young players used to how practices will go during training camp and things of that nature, and ramping these guys up, these guys kind of getting familiar with each other in the locker room and things of that nature. But I really think that this Atlanta Falcons team is a really deep roster. I definitely think that this Falcons team is going to compete for the division and be a threat in the NFC. But I'm super excited to see what this team can bring to the table this upcoming season when training camp hits and things of that nature. We're about a month away from training camp, a month and a couple weeks away from training camp, and about 2 to 3 months away from the NFL season. So things are really starting to ramp up. Hopefully these players come back prepared and ready to go, come back in shape and ready to get to it, learn the playbook and things of that nature so they can come back and hit the ground running. But from what I've seen, just out of some of the clips that I've seen, out of what I'm hearing, out of some of the reports coming out of camp, they were really impressed with, as I mentioned, Michael Penix, really impressed with a lot of these guys that's on this roster. I really feel like this is going to be a high-powered offense and a really good defense that's probably going to shock a lot of people because of a lot of the additions that the Atlanta Falcons made on the defensive side of the ball. The defense is going to look a lot different than it did last year, especially in the front seven with a lot of the younger guys that you brought in. You brought in a lot of speed with guys like Leonard Floyd off the edge, with guys like Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr., and still having guys like Caden Ellis on the roster, but a lot of youth on that defensive line with guys like Ruka Rororo, with guys like Brandon Dorless, who they talk to during these mini camp practices and things of that nature. So I'm very excited about the season. You guys give me your thoughts on mini camps and things of that nature. What's your expectations for this Atlanta Falcons team? But I definitely think that this team has a chance to be a serious threat this upcoming season. So with that being said, I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.